Bill Walsh needed a target that he knew was going to be perfect with his route running, perfect with his timing, because Bill Walsh was developing the West Coast offense. The first offense developed specifically around timing and positioning, where the short pass acted as though it was a run. And so it was all about timing, all about precision. And he wanted to team Joe Montana with a young wide receiver or wide receivers to do that. He had drafted Joe Montana, Joe Montana was drafted, and Bill Walsh needed the wide receiver for him and went out to Clemson to recruit somebody else, or to scout somebody else, rather, and came across Dwight Clark and said, well, this guy's too slow, but damn, he's in the right place all of the time. In fact, they were recruiting Clemson quarterback Steve Fuller, where they were scouting him for the draft. They said, this Dwight Clark is everywhere he's supposed to be all of the time, every single time. And Bill Walsh drafted him in the 10th round in 1979. 10th round draft pick. We don't even have 10 rounds anymore. And Dwight Clark became the go-to security blanket for Joe Montana well before Jerry Rice was drafted, because he was always right place, right time, perfect hands. That, to me, is the legacy of Dwight Clark. Not only the catch, but the first prototypical West Coast offense target, where they said we need more guys like Dwight Clark, and that's where the wide receiver position has kind of gone to. The other note on this that can't be ignored, but I think should be noted, is that we don't know if there's a connection between ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and CTE or brain trauma or playing football. But in the story about this reunion, that again makes you choke up, was that Dwight's family and Dwight recognized there could be a link there. And he said he was kind of forced to reconcile, if I didn't play football, could I still be living? And the quote was, I've gone back and forth with this. Would I want 20 more years, or would I want to play in 2 Super Bowls, be part of an organization for another 3? He was a front office member of the Niners. 5 world championships playing with Montana and Rice and Ronnie Lott and Bill Walsh and Eddie DeBartolo. I mean, it was just a great life. I might negotiate, okay, 2 championships and let me live 10 years longer. And he laughs. But it would be hard to say I've had a bad life, even though I've had a bad break now. I don't think I would change anything. And Dwight Clark was an amazing guy. People loved him, had an amazing career. But through Steve Gleason and Dwight Clark, and who knows what comes down the road, this is another very difficult part of football. And that is, the more we learn about brain trauma, CTE, concussions, and the after effects, if we, as a scientific community, if our scientific community or medical community starts making this link, that you are X number of times more likely to get ALS from playing football, and the way that you pass away in playing football, from playing football with ALS, wasting away, losing your cognitive skills, losing your motor skills, relegated to a wheelchair, passing away at 61, basically because your internal circuit board shuts down. It's going to really change participation. It's going to really change how we look at playing football. It's going to really change a lot of things. We're already starting to make those decisions because of the danger of it, but it's still, for some people, pretty easy to be like, well, you know, certainly didn't happen to everybody, and we just don't know, and maybe you're making a leap. And ALS is such a grisly, gruesome way to pass away that if there is this connection, which I think football is terrified of, it's going to be really hard 25 years down the road to say, yeah, I still want to play football, even if I know that this could be it. Certainly some will, but that is just such an awful way to shrivel up and pass away that it's going to be really difficult. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, Dwight Clark was joking around with friends. Yesterday, he passes away at 61.